was too much. Hello, good morning. This is News at 7 on Seal Radio Online. Coming to you live from our studios here in Prom Ningo Prom District. We are live on our app, Seal Radio Online, Google Play Store, and then Facebook, YouTube. My name is Isan Abila Salifu. This is Wednesday, 28th of August 2019. And to the stories, the Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply GIPS says they will cause the Public Procurement Authority PPA boss to appear before the Institute's Ethics and Professional Standards Committee. President Collins Ajman Sapon, who disclosed this on Joy News' PM Express program, said a letter has already been prepared and will be sent to Ajin Boati Ajay on Wednesday. Once Mr. J receives the letter, in our constitution, the member needs at least a framework of about 14 days after receiving the letter to appear. So from there, we will start continuing the days for him to appear. The PPA board his involvement in the sale of government contracts in Manasseh Azuru Awini's latest documentary, Contracts for Sale. The documentary showed how a company TDL one have been awarded 22.3 million Ghana cedis to a non-existent entity. The GIP's president said the institute is hurt by the revelations made in the documentary but will not rush into making conclusions until thorough investigations are conducted. The reason Mr. J is being invited for questioning if the allegations are true, Mr. Sapon said the PPA boss, who is also a senior fellow of GIPS, will be breaching Code 13 of the Institute's Code of Ethics, which provides a guide for how members should behave in instances of conflict of interest. He disclosed that a copy of the documentary will be requested from Manasseh, and he will also be made to appear before the Ethics Committee to respond to issues in the video. Now, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, GII, says Ghana's fight against corruption is insufficient and may not yield desired results if more targeted efforts are not made. Fundraising manager Michael Body said while there appears to be a lot of talks against the menace, the commitment needed to nip the menace in the bud is lacking. The show was discussing the fallout from Manasseh Azuru Awini's latest documentary, Contracts for Sale, where the CEO of the Public Procurement Authority PPA, Ajay Boating Ajay, was fingered selling government contracts. The investigative prize revealed how a company, Talent Discovery Limited, TDL, incorporated in June 2017 by the PPA boss, won majority of government contracts through a restrictive tendering. Now, after winning the government contracts, however, TDL then proceeds to sell the contracts to other companies. During the undercover investigations, TDL was ready to sell one worth 22.3 million Ghana cedis to a non-existent entity during an undercover investigation. Mr. J claims the company engaged in the sale of government contracts belonged to his brother-in-law, one Francis Ahin, but later indicated that he was a part shareholder. Talent Discovery Limited has had contracts with the Ghana Water Company Limited, Ghana Cocoa Board, Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority. The GII, which partly funded the documentary, believes all these could have been prevented if the systems put in place to check such malfeasance were active. Now, Mr. Body believes what is lacking in Ghana's fight against corruption and its related offenses are the enforcement of the laws. He said if the laws are implemented as they should, corruption will not see the light of the day in Ghana. And now to NAGRAT. Over 100 members of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, in the Volta region have alleged the association is making wrongful deductions from their salaries. The teachers said they have seen deductions of between 31 Ghana cedis and 41 Ghana cedis from their salaries by NAGRAT with no official explanation. One of the affected teachers, Foster Gavo, shared his experience with Accra-based City FM. After he contacted his colleagues, he was told it was a NAGRAT welfare deduction started by the regional executives. These allegations come after NAGRAT recently kicked against a Ghana Education Service SIC life insurance policy that saw the deduction of 10 Ghana cedis from the salaries of all public school teachers. The policy has been temporarily suspended as a result of the agitations. NAGRAT had earlier threatened to strike over the 10 Ghana cedis compulsory deduction. In 2018, teachers in public basic and senior high schools across the country complained about a deduction of 10 Ghana cedis from their salaries through the Controller and Accountant General Department CAGD for the insurance policy. This is the second time GES has temporarily suspended its insurance policy with SIC for public school teachers across the country. And now, 7 Chinese illegal miners on Tuesday, August 27, 2019, were arrested by Operation Vanguard in the Western region. The team tasked the government to end activities of illegal miners in the country. We understand acted on intelligence and apprehended all 7 who, without recourse to the ban, were engaging in mining activities. According to reports available to mynews.com, the patrol team started Monday evening in the general area of Anyamoti in the Wasa Kropon district where the suspects were arrested. The names of the arrested suspects have been provided as Li Jiamin, 45, Kin Weida, 45, Yang Rong, 37, Li Zhu Rong, 46, Li Tong, Li Tong Lin, 23, Kin Wake, 41, and Bi Ming, 48. The suspects are now with the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining for further action. After the time of the arrest, they had 2 locally manufactured rifles, a pump-action gun, together with some other equipment in their possession. And now, a young man believed to be in his 20s has been allegedly killed at Swami Market in the Swami municipality. The boy was found hanged with school cardigan trouser behind a cornmeal wooden structure at the market. He was allegedly beaten and butchered before being hanged by his attackers. Residents suspect foul play and have ruled out suicide. Speaking to a section of the media, residents who thronged the scene said a young man may have been beaten to death somewhere and hanged on the trousers. The Swami District Police Command was at the crime scene with experts and announced immediate investigations into the incident. They retrieved the body for the morgue. The body is yet to be identified. Madam Salamatu Abdullah, who is the Swami Electoral Area Chair, stated that the incident has created fear and panic among residents, especially traders at Swami Market. She called on the police to provide them with maximum security against such criminalities. And now to the Savannah region. The Northern Regional Security Council, RICSEC, has mounted a search for suspects in connection with an attack on Fulanis at Bungurugu in the Karaga district. According to the RICSEC, it has tasked the police to initiate investigations into the incident and ensure the perpetrators are arrested and dealt with by the law. It has also instituted a reward scheme for informants who would provide accurate and reliable information that will lead to the arrest of the suspects. At a press briefing in Tamale on Tuesday, August 27th, Northern Region Minister Salif Said condemned the act by the youth. He also condemned the recent snatching of cars by some criminals and cautioned them to stop or face the wrath of the law. Mr. Said expressed disgust at how a region once noted for peace is experiencing such unfortunate incidents. 4 persons sustained severe injuries in the attack, which occurred on Monday, August 26, and have been admitted at Tamalegu Chief's compound in the district receiving treatment. Motorbikes, bicycles, and other items were burnt as livestock was killed. According to the preliminary investigations by the police, it was discovered that a cattle owner who lives in Bagurugu had his cattle destroy a rice farm on Saturday. The owner of the farm allegedly quickly mobilized men who subsequently attacked the Fulani settlement. They set fire to the community, burning 65 houses and injured 4 others. The Northern Regional Public Relations Officer, DSP Mohammed Yusuf Tanku, said police officers have been deployed to the area to calm the situation. And this is where we end the news at 7 on Seal Radio Online. Keep listening, keep watching. We are back shortly with the newspaper headlines for you. Yeah. You are welcome back. This is Seal Radio Online. We are found in the Ningo Prom district, Ghana, West Africa. Thank you very much for watching us. Wherever you are, we are found live on Facebook, our app Seal Radio Online, Seal Media on YouTube, and sealradiogh.com is our website. We are streaming live. It's time for the newspaper headlines to be read to you. My name is Isanabela Salifu. I'm in the studio being produced by Steven Zuta. A lot of news, a lot of interesting stuff trending within the country, Ghana and beyond. Most of the stories are coming from the past NDC primaries and then corruption-related issues. May God save Ghana. I say good morning to our District Chief Executive, Honorable Ted Doku. Good morning to our Member of Parliament and Parliamentary Candidate for the 2020 for NDC, Samuel Nate Jata George. Congratulations, boss, for this win. And greetings to all the NDC fraternity, Okumensa and his charges. In fact, on Monday we tried to establish contact with Okumensa and we could not do it. To get his feeling about the whole exercise. We thank God that it ended in peace, although the military, the security in general was taking charge. If you fooled at your own risk. So same happened throughout the country, but of course here the presence was very heavier than the rest. Some areas about 40, 20 or 30 police officers were deployed, but here almost 200, because if police alone were 100, more than 100, what about military and the other security personnel? But we commend them. Yeah, so far, we've not had a lot of agitation. I am told it's only Ashama that one aspirant decides to go independent. This is a bit to split the votes over there, spoil the chances of the NDC. All right, to the newspaper headlines this morning. We are starting with the Daily Graphic newspaper. The truth and accuracy every day. And straight away, we have cloth dealers cash in on new JHS uniforms. New JHS uniforms. And what are these new? What will be the color? Are they going to do away with the Aban JC or why? Well, sometimes this is why the Ghana national team, senior national team, Black Star, some time ago used to wear the yellow with the black star on it, winning trophies for the country. We change it to white, and we've not won even an Indomie. You see, okay, but GES is yet to make fabric available. Cloth dealers cash in on new JHS uniforms, but GES yet to make fabrics available. That is on the front page of Daily Graphic. And then couple sue ideal capital over locked up cash. Page 16 or 18, yes. And then to another story, special prosecutor summons two over alleged corruption. As for this corruption, yes. Okay. Mm. So that is it for daily graphic. Okay. So we now move to the Daily Guide newspaper. Daily Guide newspaper. We have Baumia launches. Baumia launches 100,000 housing projects. Um, yes, with a picture of the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. This story is found on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. And then we have charge closes in on PPA boss, giving 10 days. The picture of AB Ajay. Autopsy on Otunfo's chief underway. And then Asante Hine Max Akwesi in London. Wow. Okay, now let's look at the Finder newspaper. Lotto war. Lotto war deepens. The Finder newspaper. Lotto war deepens. Story is on page 2. And government committed to SDGs Agenda 2030. Chief of Staff. And remunerate on the score of efficiency. Senior Minister. And then Aflo Immigration Service rescues 57 women from trafficking. Stories on page 12 of the Finder newspaper. Aflo Immigration Service rescued 57 women from trafficking. Ghana Hotels Association calls for synchronization of regulatory bodies. Now with the story on the Lotto war, it says Lotto war deepens. Lotto marketing companies back NLA's license regime, but Ghana Lotto Operators Association is angry. So this is Chacha war. All right, and today's Statesman newspaper, Dankwa Institute on the financial sector cleanup. Dankwa Institute on the financial sector cleanup. That story is found on page 10. And what is it talking about? Church directs PPA ex-boss to respond to conflicts of interest charges. Page 2. 300 million Pologu dam deal sealed. $300 million Pologu dam deal sealed. Try and execute it. Vice President leads stakeholders to start work in November. All right. Time to invite private participation. That is Business and Financial Times newspaper. Yes, Business and Financial Times newspaper. Time to invite private participation in SOEs. Professor Kwate. And firms must drive Africa's transformation. That is by is it what insurance? One insurance company. I can't see it well. Okay. And to the next story, China's presence here is positive. That's Chinese ambassador. It's positive. Okay. Then patients' health at risk in northern region. Mm. Patients' health at risk in northern region as hospitals, resort to use of what?
Let me tell you, no water can this fire. Only can save our Let me tell you, we cry for
Okay, let's continue from the publisher newspaper. Two men hung dead on Kumasi trees. Oh, two men dead on Kumasi trees. Hmm. My dad turns me on sexually. Okay. Let's go ahead. And then Akufo-Addo must resign. Nyahotamako rose. I think this interview was done with Sadiq Adams. He bemoaned alleged corruption in the country. Muhammad storms Muzama Church for prayers. Okay.
Lord, we cry for love in this name.
Okay, yes. Conflict of interest allegations. Reply in 10 days. Chiraj orders. Don't call me PPA. Okay, I've read this one. Yeah, very good. Now,
In South Africa.
okay, Gold Street business is next. Gold Street business. SEC plans 20-fold capital hike for fund managers. SEC plans 20-fold capital hike for fund managers. And then business registrations rise further first half 2019 as economic formalization initiatives pay off. We have government commences energy sector reforms. These are all from Gold Business newspaper. Okay. And that's all the stories we've got for you this morning. The newspaper headlines. There are more news. We're trying to get you some from the online portals. But with all those I've read so far, my interest lies with the Polygo Dam construction. Which has seen provision of about $300 million by the Vice President. There are quite a number of dams in the northern region that remain stagnant for so long. Especially that Polygo Dam is one of them. It's been there for a very long time. But with this deal being sealed at this time, just about 1 year and 1 year to end this regime. How sure are we that it's going to be constructed? I think work is going to begin anyway, but apart from this one, we have the Sicily Pond once go to the overseas part of the northeast region, about 2 or 3 bridges, dams over there waiting to be constructed. But so this one village, one dam thing, we are seeing the Polygo one, and then but I'm sure that they've not done even up to let me say 5% of the entire dams to be constructed at that very place. This is found at northeast region, the West Mamprisi district. So I asked myself that, in fact, if in internal elections, an MP, not presidential candidate, spends over 3 billion Ghana cedis to do campaigns on internal elections alone, what about the general elections? And what about those aspiring or vying for the presidency itself? Hey. A lot of money is being spent. And I think one of the losers, Honorable Ras Mubarak, there is a leaked information about some items and then money distributed in the build-up to the elections, the primaries, despite the loss. So money is being thrown away. And when they win the power, instead of using the common fund for the projects, using the money for the intended purpose for which it's been provided, we don't see anything. Okay, this is Seal Radio Online. We just read to you the newspaper headlines. I'm trying to get you some more news headlines from the online. Just gone by was the news at 7. My name is Isan Abila Salifu. In a few moments, we are going to check out, but we are just providing you with some news items. Feed yourself with information available in the country Ghana. You're welcome back. Let me read to you one of the stories. This is emanated from the tour by the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress (NDC) to the three northern regions, the newly created ones, Savannah, Northeast, and Oti regions. And one of the trending trending story that comes out of this tour is the distant abandonment of some of his e-blocks at somewhere in Damango. And I read it to you. Is that the former president John Dramani Mahama and flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC), who is on the 2-day working visit to the Savannah regions as part of his campaign for election 2020, on Monday visited a community day school project at Mpaha. Mpaha in the Yapei Kusagu constituency, reportedly abandoned by the current government. I said Damango earlier, so it's Mpaha in the Yapei Gusoku constituency. He said, I have often drawn attention to the criminal abandonment of key projects, and this is one very key example. Almost complete a full community secondary school. Can you see fire extinguishers have been installed, ready to go. I remember it is one of the World Bank funded projects that we got. There were 23 of them, and then the remaining number of 100 we were funding through government resources. And if you go around the country, you will find them at different stages of completion. Some have almost been completed, and yet they remain unoccupied. Mr. Mama said, if you look at the children in that Mpaha community and other surrounding communities, they have to travel several kilometers to go and get a secondary education when a whole secondary school is just at their doorsteps. It just needs a little more to complete it, and then the children would have gone into them. There are some that I know that are completed, but government has not done what it takes. He said the Mpaha Community Day School, for instance, is just one of the many e-blocks abandoned by the government across the country. And pictures of his visit to the place with that constituency and its executives and Madame Louisa Hanabisiu. Yeah. I mean, the former president who spearheaded the start of work on the 200 community day school condemned the decision by government to stop paying for ongoing projects and refused to open up for use many completed projects. Okay, so this is one of the stories that has so far come out of his tour, and he's continuing it from today from the Savannah region to the northeast. And shortly after this, somebody brought in the argument that he and Atamils also rejected Kufuor's affordable housing projects somewhere in the Ashanti regions or so. So it's just a culture. The best tradition goes on. this story from Mexico foreign minister, deputy foreign minister. He says Ghana is a success story. Let's see what he's talking about. Ghana is a success story in terms of her democratic development, rule of law, economic growth, and what has been a difficult process of real facilitation and integration of Africa. Mexico's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Julian Ventura, has said. He said Ghana was also positioned to use her resources to help with the integration of the region, especially with what it is about to happen. The country about to host the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which will open opportunities. He says, in quote, "I am sure that additional opportunities will open up as tariffs on intra-African trade are progressively eliminated within the AFCFTA." And he stated, he said Mexico had benefited from free trade agreements not only in North America but also within Asia Pacific and Latin America, as well as with the European Union. The Deputy Foreign Minister said Mexico was also well positioned to be the kind of partner that Ghana needed in achieving its vision and objectives in various areas, including their tourism efforts. Mr. Ventura, who was speaking to the Daily Graphic in an interview in Accra during a 2-day visit to Ghana, recently said Mexico is the country to talk to in Ghana's tourism agenda because Mexico has made great strides in tourism and is the 6th most visited country in the world with 40 million visitors last year, while its food is recognized globally. So Ghana and Mexico could start a conversation in this area, not a type that will be high cost, but the type that will have great impact, adding that the two countries need to be supportive of each other. Yes, of course, countries need to be supportive each other, so that we need to live brotherly life. I agree with him in some portions, but some not. Actually, we are practicing democracy, and in terms of rule of law, we appear to be using rule of law appropriately, but in reality, it's not really true, not really being seen. It's not felt that much. A lot of lawlessness and the defilement of the equality before the law provision in the Constitution. Okay, let's move ahead. I'll give you one other story from the Ayawas West Wogon constituency in the Greater Accra region. And the new Patriotic Party NPP Member of Parliament MP for the Ayawas West Wogon constituency, Ms. Lydia Seram Al Hassan, has presented 11 Kia Morning Saloon cars to the 11 electoral areas in the constituency. And the vehicles are to be used as commercial public transport or Uber service vehicles to generate revenue for the various electoral areas. It also creates employment for persons with driving competencies within the constituency. It also creates employment for persons with driving Okay. So the beneficiary electoral areas are Roman Ridge, Christian Village, East Legon, Legon A, Legon B, and Mempiasem. The rest are Oponglo, Jolo, Abelenque, Westlands, and Tesano. At a ceremony to hand over the vehicles, Ms. Al-Hassan said as an entrepreneur, she was committed to bringing her entrepreneurship skills to bear so that the teeming youth in the constituency could be employed. The presentation of the vehicles, she said, was part of a number of models aimed at creating more employment opportunities within the constituency. Named the Ayawas West Wogon Entrepreneurship Scheme, she said there were models such as the Uber driving model, credit union, and others for ladies. We are rolling out makeup, in quote, we are rolling out makeup, interior decoration, catering, sieving, and fashion designing, and many other programs under the youth entrepreneurship schemes. And this is just the beginning, she pointed out. Ms. Al-Hassan, who succeeded her late husband, the former MP for the constituency, Mr. Emmanuel Chirmantini Ajako, said, "This is not an NPP thing. This is for the whole constituency. I'm inviting all the political parties and our members to join me in this cause. It is going to develop our constituency. It is going to develop our electoral areas. This is not just for me or for the MPP. Please come and join me and let's work together." She also stated she desired that the people will at least recognize what we are doing, and I'm asking them to come on board to help push the cause. So the 2020 campaign has just begun. 11 vehicles, Kia saloon cars, given to constituents. So who are going to be in charge of these vehicles? That's good. A battle between her and the actor John Dumelo, who overwhelmingly had his win in the just ended NDC primaries. Very soon he also begin his tour. I think he has already begun. The money sharing comes in. All right. I think it's almost time for us to wrap up. Check out of the studio. And then I wanted to do one more story. I'm not getting it. It's a sports though. It says one female teenager taking part of the ongoing All African Games has won gold medal for Ghana. It's coming down. It's been a long time since we had Ghanaian athletes, won gold medals for the country at all competitions. Our entire sports is actually in status. Okay, so I say good morning, good morning to Eric Beneye Question. Thank you for watching us.
Let me tell you, no water can put out this fire. Only can see without Let me tell you, we'll cry for South Africa. We cry Let me tell you, no water can put out this fire. Only the Lord can see the
Okay. Let's. It's been a pleasure doing it all with you. Where I thank you very much wherever you find yourself watching me via Facebook or via our app. This is still Radio Online. It was news at 7 and the news super headlines for you. My name is Isan Abila Salifu. This is where time permits me to get out of the studio.
in this name. I'll tell you, no water can
I urge you to keep listening to Seal Radio Online. You can always also visit www.sealradiogh.com in case you want some local or international news to read. We are always also streaming live on the website, Facebook, YouTube. I was produced by Steven Zuta.
Lord, we cry for love.
Stay tuned. More to follow. My name is Isa Salifun Abila. Bye bye.
Let me tell you, no water